Hey, crypto family. So I know this isn't the news that everyone wants to hear, that Bitcoin is declining again, but believe it or not, this is actually the correction that we needed in order for a healthy rally to happen in the future. So Bitcoin right now, it's down 3.5% to $6,231. Ethereum continues to underperform at 7.5%, down to $201. It actually went under $200 today. And then the rest of the altcoins are following suit. Again, we have Dash up 3% and Dogecoin up 6%. So those two coins actually were doing good yesterday and today. So they may be some good ones to hold on to. But looking at the analysis here for Bitcoin, we can see on the daily chart that I drew these support lines. They're already pre-drawn, and you can see it was about 6,100 is where Bitcoin actually met the low for today. And it bounced off of that and is currently consolidating at about 6,180. Now, if we do fall below this 6,100 level, then I do see us testing the previous lows of around $5,800. This is going to be the huge support since every time Bitcoin has bounced off of this low. So this is the big thing to watch out for, and to see if that we continue to bounce off of this low or we continue to decline to the more of the $55,000 and $5,500 level that everyone is thinking. Now, going at the 4-hour chart here, I mentioned it would be a good if we could test this 200-day moving average again around the $6,600 to $6,700 level. I think that would be a healthy bounce and then some consolidation before we have another move to the downside. But it seems like Bitcoin doesn't want to wait. So far, it looks like we may pierce through this 6,100 support and fall to new lows. But again, that's just something you have to keep in mind and just trade accordingly. And remember to always set your stops. Now, an article that I want to bring up, actually 3 articles. One of them, it says Bitcoin price expected to decline to 5,000 becomes a more likely scenario. So basically they talk about Bitcoin's history and its history from its highs declining down to its lows. Now you can see here's a couple graphs. Some of them are from 2015, and you can see Bitcoin have a high of about $1,200 declining to below $300. Now, this is in a span of roughly a year, or roughly 2 years. And you can see here, this is from August 22nd, 2013, January 17, 2015. So for the majority of that time frame, Bitcoin declined about 75% from its highs. Now, if we apply that to today's highs, of $20,000, 75% decline would be at that $5,000 mark. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when you are looking at these retracements that have happened. Again, it's not fun to see Bitcoin declining, but we did have a parabolic rally, and a healthy correction was needed. So I know it's hard for a lot of people to believe, but again, as we get more towards that $5,000 level, 5,500, those are definitely going to be healthy levels to pick up Bitcoin if you want to start getting in. Even now the prices aren't bad, but again, I still see some further decline as we go towards the end of the month. So that's something to keep in mind, and just seeing how history usually repeats itself. Just something to keep in mind that new lows are expected. So second article I want to bring up is by Cointelegraph. It actually says crypto is a poor form of money for terrorists. Congressional hearing concludes. So in my previous video, I mentioned that people were becoming aware that the money for North Korea, Venezuela, and Iran, the U.S. sanctions caused them to turn towards cryptocurrency for their pretty much for them to gain funding. So basically what it's saying here is there's not many methods that for people that accept cryptocurrencies and just pretty much exchanges or anything that's set in those countries. So they're saying that terrorists have been unsuccessful in trying to get crypto to be a good form of money for them to acquire. So which that's really good news. I mean, basically it still says that right now governments are just preparing for cryptocurrencies, preparing for regulation so that they have better control over, attempted money laundering and just those illicit activities. So it says here that at this point, it appeared that authorities should focus on minor crypto exchanges that create alternative tokens or privacy coins instead of major exchanges that have significantly boosted their anti-money laundering and know your customer policies. So again, exchanges, have these policies in place for a reason to prevent, countries or terrorist organizations like these for laundering money. So it's good to see that the government is still working and, not seeing crypto as a completely negative thing that it was in the past. They're actually working with cryptocurrency exchanges and just making it to where it's just regulated, and it makes it harder for terrorists to acquire funds these ways. So I thought this was good news, and just one thing to show that cryptocurrency is getting into the mainstream, but the government is working with it to try to bring it to the mainstream safely. So last but not least is an article by Coin News, and it says 1 billion people will be using cryptocurrency in 5 years. Brian Armstrong. Now, Brian Armstrong is the Coinbase chief executive, and basically he was at a TechCrunch conference in San Francisco, which is a really popular conference. And basically they talk about, upcoming tech, talk about cryptocurrencies, hackathons, all kinds of different things. And basically what he says here is he believes, that in 5 years we will see, substantial mainstream adoption, and will be at least 1 billion people using cryptocurrencies. And it says Coinbase, the US company Armstrong heads, is one of the world's largest Bitcoin and altcoin exchanges by trading volume. They have only recently entered the UK markets to tap the growing crypto user base in the country. Previously, it had been working actively in the US and Europe, and it has amassed over 13 million users to date. That makes it 32.5% of the overall crypto users. So if you take that into account, so 13 million users, 33%. So that means there's about 40 million users, crypto users total in the world. Now, if he thinks there's going to be 1 billion in 5 years, then 40 million times 25 is 1 billion. So if you multiply the current market cap, or let's just say Bitcoin's price, 6,000 times 25, that's $150,000 Bitcoin in 5 years, which is definitely doable. That's not out of the realm. People are predicting the end of this year, 25,000 or even $50,000 predictions, but I think $150,000 Bitcoin in 5 years is very doable, and that would make the market cap, well over $1 billion to $2 billion range. So again, that's definitely, $2 trillion range for the market cap, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. I mean, basically what he says here is he believes that growing number of cryptocurrency companies will contribute to the overall crypto ecosystem. The companies under a regulated environment will issue their tokens backed by their respective market caps. In a way, these institutionalized digital assets will prove to be an alternative investment system in addition to equities. So he says it makes sense that companies who already have a market cap should have their own token. So kind of converting, they're already used basically company that turn into a token so that they can use cryptocurrencies as well. So I thought that it was definitely good, and some good analysis by him as to why 1 billion people will be using cryptocurrencies. Now that may be a little ambitious, but I still think that we are going to get mainstream adoption, and there will be a lot more people using cryptocurrencies in 5 years than are currently using them. So just an article I wanted to bring up by this guy, chief of Coinbase, and he has some insight on the market, so it's great to see someone who's this deep in the market having this positive of an attitude. So hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, thanks for watching.